There's a new theory going around that could potentially help us narrow down a future DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This theory has been dubbed M-Theory, and it has to do with censorship in Super Smash Bros. Censorship in Super Smash Bros. Has always been a little strange. Sometimes Super Smash Bros. Is for good boys and girls, and certain characters aren't allowed to show up in the background of stages. However, other times, characters from games that would be considered rather questionable alongside the rest of the Smash cast actually get in as playable fighters. So it's really strange what gets censored and what doesn't when it comes to Super Smash Bros. In fact, Sakurai's latest tweet of the day image is sort of poking fun at this whole censorship thing. It's an image of a galaxy inside of Rosalina's dress. In the more modern Smash games, Sakurai's had to fill the dress area of certain characters with just a blank void. This wasn't always the case, though. In older Smash games, if you looked up a character's dress or skirt, well, let's just say it was a different time back then. Decisions like this aren't coming from the Smash team or Sakurai. These are actually being given to them from the ratings team in whatever area the game has to be sold in. Here in America, we have the ESRB, and they've rated Super Smash Bros. Ultimate an E10+ game. The ESRB stands for Entertainment Software Ratings Board, and they're the organization that rates video games in a very similar way that, like, movies get rated as, like, PG or PG-13 or R. The ESRB has a rating system for video games. In other parts of the world, there are other organizations doing this sort of rating system. In Japan, it's called CERO, the Computer Entertainment Rating Organization. So in different regions of the world, there are different ratings organizations, and they have their own systems. And those systems aren't always the same between these different organizations. So in one part of the world, something might get rated one way, whereas somewhere else, they might be more strict with censorship. Some interesting differences and discrepancies between the past Smash trailers have actually led people to believe that in America, the trailers are being more censored than they are in other parts of the world. This variation between different organizations' ratings in different regions of the world is where we're getting M-Theory from. So M-Theory was created by Meteor Tome over on Discord. They sent me this. They said, "Hey Papa, I've got a pretty big theory I'd like to share with you. This explains why the Assassin's Creed and Fallout logos were not included, and has a pretty significant implication for the identity of at least one Fighters Pass 2 character." So one discrepancy between some of the more recent Smash trailers that I've gone over in past videos is how Fallout and Assassin's Creed actually got the names of their series censored when they were shown in the American version of the trailer. So when the Mii costumes that showed up alongside Byleth were revealed, in the American version of the trailer, it said Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Altair. And in other parts of the world, it actually said Super Smash Bros. X Assassin's Creed, the name of the series, not the character. And then when we got Vault Boy with Min Min, something similar happened. We got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Vault Boy instead of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Fallout, which is how it was shown in the trailers in the rest of the world. Most people assume this was due to censorship issues with the ESRB. Most people were thinking the word assassin might be a little too much, so they went with Altair, or the word fallout, which has to do with, nuclear fallout, might be a little too much as well, and they went with Vault Boy. Again, different ratings organizations have different standards. So the ESRB is the rating organization for North America, and they appear to be being more strict than the rating organizations in, say, Europe or Japan. Again, my assumption here was that specifically the issue was the word assassin and the word fallout, and that's what was being censored here. However, Meteor Tome has a different take on this, and it's pretty interesting. They say, "I believe the ESRB changed their rules how advertisement videos like Directs and Sakurai Presents were rated. It used to be that videos would be rated the same as the games it contains footage of. But I believe it has been changed, so now just a logo can affect the age rating of the video. I do not know where or if we can find changes to the ESRB rules like this, which could be used to straight up confirm this theory, but I have pretty substantial evidence in its place." So Meteor Tome is saying that it's not just because of these specific words were a little too much for a Smash trailer, it's actually the logos for those series that are now being censored out of these Sakurai Presents videos. They go on to say, first of all, Sakurai Presents Min Min is rated E10+ to T, despite the only game it has footage of being Smash Ultimate and ARMS, both of which are rated E10+. The only reference to any T-rated game in this presentation is the Tekken logo. And this is true. If you look at the Mr. Sakurai Presents Min Min video, it is rated everyone 10 plus to teen. The only teen-rated content in the video is the Heihachi Mii costume and the Tekken logo that was associated with it. So there may have been a change with how the ESRB is rating things, and even showing a logo for a game can bump the trailer up to the rating of that game. Specifically this one being E10 plus through T, teen, for the Tekken logo that showed up alongside the Heihachi Mii costume. Next, the Fighter's Pass used to contain the logos of the games the fighters are from next to the fighter. In the most recent presentations, the ones for Byleth and Min Min, these logos have been removed from the Fighter's Pass. This makes sense as one of these logos is Persona 5, an M-rated game. If the ESRB rules were changed to make logos affect the age ratings of a direct/presentation, it makes sense they would have to remove the logos on the Fighter's Pass to prevent the Sakurai Presents from being rated M. Presumably the change came late in 2019, which explains why the logos could be in earlier Ultimate DLC presentations, but not the newer ones. This also explains why the logos of Assassin's Creed and Fallout were not shown in the Mii costume reveals. If logos can make a presentation rated M, it makes sense to exclude those logos. So obviously Nintendo wouldn't want the Sakurai Presents videos to be rated M in America. They want everybody to be able to watch it, and the Min Min one did actually get bumped up to teen for some reason, and the only thing that's really in there that's teen is the Tekken logo. So the logos of the series may actually be changing the rating for these videos. And if you look at the Fighter's Pass they showed in the American version, they got rid of all the series logos for the characters. However, in the European and Japanese versions of Mr. Sakurai Presents, they still have those logos, so it wasn't an issue there. Censoring these game logos might in fact be an ESRB change, specifically affecting these trailers in North America. Over on Discord, Spunk clarified this. They said, this was the image of the pass in the September Direct in America. So this was Terry's Direct, and as you can see, Persona 5 has its logo next to Joker, Dragon Quest XI has their logo next to Hero, Banjo-Kazooie has the logo next to Banjo-Kazooie, and Fatal Fury is the logo next to Terry. Spunk went on to say, this is how it looked in the Byleth presentation in America. So in the Mr. Sakurai Presents Byleth video, in the American version, they removed all of the series logos next to the characters when they showed the full Fighter's Pass. Spunk went on to say, this is also when we started to get the censoring of Assassin's Creed and Fallout in America. The Mr. Sakurai Presents Byleth video is when we got the Assassin's Creed Mii costume for Altair, and that's the first time we saw this discrepancy between the different trailers, with the American version saying Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Altair, while the rest of the world got Super Smash Bros. Ultimate X Assassin's Creed, an M-rated game. This same thing happened again when we got the Vault Boy Mii costume in Min Min's video, Fallout being once again an M-rated game. So it could be assumed that something new happened with the ESRB, and they can't show M-rated game logos anymore like Persona 5. Or at least if they do show the logo for an M-rated game, it can be assumed they may have to change the rating for the Mr. Sakurai Presents video up to an M rating, and obviously Nintendo doesn't want to do that. In the European and Japanese version of the Mr. Sakurai Presents Byleth video, when they showed off the full Fighter's Pass, the logos for the series are still there. They were only removed in the North American version of the video. And one of the few differences between the presentations being shown in North America as opposed to Europe and Japan is which rating organization is rating the videos. In America, it's the ESRB, but in other parts of the world, it's not. So it could make the difference here. And now here's where M-Theory gets really interesting, because this is the part that might actually help us narrow down a future fighter. So if we check the Mr. Sakurai Presents an ARMS fighter video, the one where we got Min Min revealed, just like before, the logo for ARMS is not associated with Min Min when they showed the full pass. This is in the American version of the Min Min presentation. However, in the Japanese and European version of the presentation, the ARMS logo is next to Min Min when they showed the full pass. So it could be assumed that this means there is at least one character from an M-rated game in the second Fighter's Pass. ARMS is a rated E10 plus game by the ESRB, so it really doesn't have to be censored to keep Sakurai's video an E10 plus video. However, they may be censoring it in preparation to censor all the future logos, because one of them might actually change the rating for Sakurai's video by being from an M-rated game. Spunk goes on to point out, you could make the argument that they just wanted to keep the lack of logos consistent with Pass 1, But by that logic, they could have also made it consistent by getting rid of the logos in the Japanese and European videos, but they didn't. An argument could be made that they removed the ARMS series logo just to be consistent with how they showed off Fighter Pass 1. But initially that wasn't how they were showing Fighter Pass 1. This is only consistent with Byleth's video. And it isn't consistent at all with the Japanese and European versions of the Sakurai Presents. They didn't seem to mind having the Tekken logo being shown bump up the Mr. Sakurai Presents Min Min video to an E10 through teen rated video. So I think it's safe to assume Nintendo is cool with a game series logo from a teen rated game. The only reason why they're removing these logos is if the series is from an M rated game. So this may actually guarantee an M rated character is part of Fighter Pass 2 at some point here. And just so people are aware, the Fighter Passes themselves are rated, and they are both rated E10+. So that's M Theory in a nutshell. I actually believe this one is onto something. I'm believing this theory, and I do think we will get an M-rated character as part of our Fighters Pass, and having the ARMS series logo censored on the Fighter Pass image that we got in Min Min's presentation is in fact pointing to that being the case. The only issue here is that we have no idea which M-rated character we might get, and there's already plenty of speculated M-rated characters that might get in the pass. Something like us getting another Microsoft rep, someone like Master Chief from Halo, which is an M-rated game, already seemed very likely. We of course had lots and lots of speculation about Doom Guy, and Doom is an M-rated game as well. Dante from Devil May Cry, Travis from No More Heroes, even Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden has occasionally come from an M-rated game. There are plenty of other options as well, so while I do subscribe to M Theory, and I do think we will get an M-rated game character coming to the second Fighters Pass, it's really hard to narrow down who exactly it will be. Alright, well that's everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I really do believe in M Theory. I think this probably guarantees us an M-rated character will be part of the second Fighters Pass. However, narrowing down which character that is exactly is nearly impossible. And since we already had plenty of very likely characters coming from M-rated games, this doesn't really narrow things down too much. But it is interesting, and I do believe it. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. So once again, thank you guys for all the subscribes, all the likes. It really helps out the channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, or like the video, or leave a comment, whatever you want. Until next time, have a good one.